And this is how the upstairs is doing. So downstairs is doing really well, but this is upstairs. Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Kathryn, the Aerogarden Homesteader. I do indoor gardening and outdoor gardening. The downstairs garden is looking really good. I'll put an overlay of how that is doing. So not much going on down here. Everything is still looking pretty much the same, but I have been having salads and trying to keep up with these. I can't wait to show you how some of the other things are going, especially in the outdoor garden. But yeah, this one's starting to get a little stalky. These are looking really good. The cilantro is still trucking along. It's been pushing out a lot of new growth. I do have new cilantro going, so I will show you that. And this one got a little bit of burning on the bottom here. I don't know if it's burning per se, but it's just starting to not look so good. So I've actually been starting to just harvest in the middle where the leaves are a little bit better. I do wonder if it might be starting to go to seed soon, but you know, the chickens have been enjoying it, so can't complain. I feel like I have a lot less waste now that I have chickens. And then upstairs here, we have the pepper plants. Look amazing. Wait till you see the ones outside. You'll be shocked. I mean, I planted these ones much later, and they are huge. I've also got, I think this one's got about 3 peppers in there. This one's got 2, I think. It's definitely got 1. I thought I had another one. It's just so dense. I keep picking out leaves, and it just keeps pushing out more growth. I have noticed that it is dropping flowers. So I am not 100% sure I increased the food the last feed, but this feed, I definitely increased the food. So I think I put 40 ml of food in, and I did switch over from the Aerogarden food to the master blend. So we'll see if there's any difference. I don't know if there is. The tomatoes are just going insane. This one has spread over into the next Aerogarden. It's just like totally taking over. It's got more flowers on it. So this one is reacting to getting more food. This one has not, it's got a few flowers back there, but it's not really pushing out a whole ton of flowers yet. And yes, all of these tomatoes are ripe. I need to pick them. I'm probably going to dehydrate them because there is no way I can eat that many tomatoes. I've got a whole bunch from the garden that I need to eat. So this one is looking really good. There are just tons of flower buds. Like, it's just insane. Insane. So I'm going to let at least some of these peppers go to full color because I want to see what color they are. If there's like a color I've never had before, I will definitely seed save and specifically label it for that color and not just have it be a, ooh, it's a bell mix. So this is how these are doing, and the edamame is looking incredible. They are so fuzzy, and in fact, I think some of these are flowers. So on the one over here, further back, I did see, I don't know where it is, I think it is that one there. It is showing a little bit of purplish color on the, great, it just went all blurry. Sorry about that. But it is showing a little bit of purplish color on the tips of the flower, so yeah, it's pretty cool. I can't wait to see the flowers. Yeah, there's more over here. Let me see if I can pull this one a little closer. So right in here, I don't know if you can see that, it's got a little bit of purple just peeking out of the flower tip there. And hopefully I didn't just ruin it, but I did put up a second line of trellis. I only have 2 because I didn't order any more, but I'm getting there. I will get more. So I did put it a little bit high, but what I'll do is I'll pay attention to it. So some of them are really close to being able to hold in there on their own, but for the rest of them I'll just keep an eye on it and then pull them in as they get taller. So they're not supposed to need a ton of support, but I don't know if you can see this, but they're all like leaning out for some strange reason because it's the light's inside. Why are they leaning out? And I don't know if they're just trying to get more room from each other. Sorry, this is my avocado. It's actually put out a whole bunch of new growth. I fed it and it started growing again. So, but I don't know if they're just trying to get away from each other and they're just like flopping out, or what's going on. But anyways, this is how the indoor garden is doing. The lettuce is doing great, and I'm going to show you the cilantro that we started, and then I'll show you the outdoor garden. And this is the cilantro. I finally got some more cilantro going. So the 2 on this side are actually in a regular peat sponge, and then the 2 on this side I am trying something new, so stay tuned for that. I will show you how that goes, but as you can see it's going pretty good. So I will show you what I did, and if you decide you want to give it a try, it might actually be a much cheaper alternative to using the peat sponges. I just want to make sure it's not going to destroy the pump or anything. So I need to make sure it's not like putting out little threads of anything that can get trapped in the pump. I mean, the sponge in the pump should take care of some of it because it does help block some of the roots. But, you know, hey, I'd hate to recommend something and then it just destroys Aerogardens. But yeah, we'll see. The year mileage may vary, but so far it's looking pretty good. So on to the outdoor garden. And finally, the outdoor garden update and a chicken update. So I had a really nice chicken update last week for you, and I didn't hit record, which was lovely. So the chickens have been, if you can see that their combs and wattles are full bright red, they're ready to lay according to everything. And then the other sign I've noticed is when you sort of, you know, pet them on the back, they squat down like they're, you know, presenting to the rooster. So they were doing that for about a week-ish before they actually started laying. And I'll show you a picture of the eggs. The first egg was really light. I don't have a picture of it, but it was really light in color and very thin shell. The second one was a little bit darker, and the third eggs are even darker still. So each progressive set of eggs has been darker and darker. So we give them a little bit of scratch in the morning, plus, you know, any eggshells that were, you know, used over, you know, breakfast. So hopefully they're getting enough calcium and all that. The second and third eggs definitely have had thicker, harder shells. So I think they are getting enough. And I have been giving them some oyster shell on demand. So they have that. And I think their layer feed even has a bit of calcium in it for them. So that is the chicken update. They have been doing really well. We've been getting about 1 to 2 eggs each day so far. So I think that from what I've read, or what my husband read, they lay about 50% of their eggs in the first amount of time. It didn't really have a specified time range, but it does say that the first few months of egg laying will be 50%. So we're not expecting a ton of eggs. We've only got 5 chickens, but you know, it's better than nothing. It's been nice. And here is the rest of the outdoor garden. And so the tomatoes along here are doing kind of poorly, actually. I've never really had the tomatoes do this poorly in this area. Normally, they do poorly further down where they don't get as much light, so I'm wondering if, despite me putting down some fertilizer and food and stuff, that they're just struggling for some other reason. I don't know what it is. I did get my beans in the ground, and I don't know if you can see this. Some of them are coming up, but I think something is eating them as well. This one over here, I think the slugs, I can see some slug slime on it. This one is untouched so far. So I don't know how many of the bean plants I will get coming to full maturity, which is kind of a shame. Basil is doing well. I did rip out a whole bunch of the white strawberry plants to make room for the eventual red strawberry plants. So hopefully we can get that filled in. And then, oh my goodness, pumpkin, 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 pumpkin. Like, I think the chickens are going to be enjoying pumpkins over the winter. Because I don't think I'm going to be able to enjoy this many pumpkins. So down here, a little easier to see on the other side, but this vine here, that's the one I need to look for to start turning brown. And part of it, I think, see down here, this little part's starting to brown up. So I gotta wait for the rest of these to brown up as well, and then that means this one will be ripe. So I have been checking on some of the other ones as well. I do need to. My potatoes are dying back, and I'm not 100% sure if it's lack of water, because the soil is really dry. And it is pushing out new growth, weirdly enough, or if something else is going on. So I might harvest this one this weekend and see what's going on. And then these two are still looking okay. They are definitely getting more water, so yeah. I did come through and harvest a bunch of the dill, so that was good. I got lots of dill seed now. I harvested my cucumbers. So I have these two. I feel like, you know, some people have like, they just get plant after plant, or, you know, fruit after fruit after fruit. I feel like I get mine in little sets. Like my zucchini. I got 3 or 4 of them, and now I don't have anything. I go through like a dry spell, and then I'll get, you know, a few more, and then I'll have another dry spell. So it's kind of the same with the cucumbers. I get a few, and then dry spell, then a few, and then dry spell. So there's another one down there. I don't know, it's really weird. I never really have a problem with getting enough, you know, getting too much, because they come in spits and spurts. So I got lots of slugs, got lots of tomatoes. The basil is actually, this basil is insane. So Tomatoes are doing well. This, I don't know if you can see these little seedlings here. So the dill, self-seeded, so I'll probably never get rid of the dill either. The nasturtiums, self-seeded. So they got these weird little, let me see if I can find you one, weird little wrinkly seeds, and they just drop them everywhere. I did actually come back and prune them. Interestingly enough, you can save the seeds. I think you can save them in their immature state when they're still green like this, and turn them into capers. Because that's just the flower head of the plant. So these tomatoes are actually doing really well. They're nice and thick. There's plenty of tomatoes on them. We've been getting lots of harvests. More pumpkin. Another 2 pumpkins over there. But yeah, this has been really good. And then the pepper plants are not doing as well outside as they are inside, but these are bell peppers, interestingly enough. So there's one over here that might be ready to pick. So I might do that. It's kind of an ugly one. That one must have been mislabeled because it does not look like a bell pepper. Either that or it's a malformed bell pepper. But you know what? I got peppers. I mean, I'm kind of impressed. Now, under here somewhere, I did plant some beans, and I don't know that they're coming up. Now, I don't know if something ate them. The soil is really dry here for some strange reason. I had been watering it underneath just to get extra water in there, but yeah, I think the beans are going to fail in this bed. I did also put in I let some mustard seeds drop, I let some broccoli seeds drop, and I also came through, and I think in this bed I planted some beets, just a few beets just to have them. So we'll see how that goes. I did also come and sort of hack back the nasturtiums because they were really spreading out. Yeah, look at this. This tiny little pepper plant. And the one that was over here, I think it just got buried by everything, and it didn't make it. And then over here, I still don't remember what kind this one is. It was a mystery pepper. I mislabeled it or something, but it's got these. I'm gonna have to test them and see if they're spicy or not. See if it's the Joe Parker, or I don't think I did banana peppers. And then, of course, I have the little mini jalapenos, which are actually mini when you grow them outside. Fun fact. Strawberries are going insane. The pears are actually doing really well. So this is our pineapple pear. So it's getting close. Not sure what color it's supposed to be, but we're just keeping an eye on it. So, trick to find out if it's ready to pick, and I could probably show you with the apples, because they're close but not quite. So, see how the apples are nice and red? They look really close. If you lift it up, let me do that again so you can actually see it. If you lift it up and it doesn't snap off, it's not ready. So, the stem has to dry out, and then it'll just snap off. So I've noticed it with the pears more than the apples. The apples are not ripe enough yet. And then we have the wall of sunflowers. So I actually need to, I think some of these are getting close to harvest, but this one's just draped over the fence. This one is, I think this one is almost ready. That one was close. This one I think is ready. I see it's starting to darken up a little bit there. So I can harvest that. I've just been harvesting them and putting them in a like a onion bag so that they can, you know, not drop bugs in my house, and I just hang it in the shed. So I got zucchini. So I got 3. I think I got 3 zucchini. There's 2 more. It's really hard to see, but one over here and another one in there. I don't feel like putting the tomato cage really helped keep the plant compact, because I don't know if you can see, but it sent out like a side shoot. There's another side shoot going up. There's another side shoot heading off into the strawberries, which means, oh my goodness, there's another zucchini in there. So it's hiding in the strawberries, so I probably need to pull back the strawberries a little bit. I don't want to get rid of too many of the white ones because they do actually taste really good. Some of these leaves I just need to kind of come through and prune them back. We do have a sprinkler system, so unfortunately we do get the powdery mildew. And then I really just need to pull this up. This is a kale plant from last year that just went to seed. More pumpkin. Oh my goodness. The little cherry tomatoes, I find that they split really easily. They were really good. They were really small, which I'm not a fan of. and they split really easily. So we're on a sprinkler system, so they get a lot of water, and it just, like, they go from fine to split in seconds, unfortunately. So I don't know if I would plant that variety again. I have the seeds. I'd probably plant them to sell or give away or whatever, but I don't think I would plant them for myself. This is such a wide strawberry patch, it's not even funny. So, but really, this is the grand scheme of things. Stuff is starting to come up for harvest. I just processed a whole bunch of tomatoes. Basically, I cored them, cut them in half, took the seeds out, and put them in the freezer. So look forward to a video on something with tomatoes. It's probably going to be roasted salsa, because that'll be our first priority, and then after that we will figure out what is missing from the pantry shelves, and I will start filling in the blanks there. So this is pretty much what's going on. I did, for the herbs, pull out all of the chamomile. So here's the catmint. Some of it is starting to perk up. I did put down a little bit more of the raised bed fertilizer, but I'm not quite sure what's going on here. We've been getting, like, we're in a heat wave. It has been insanely hot. This is where the chamomile was. I gently pulled it out to try to preserve a lot of these seedlings. And then this is the lemon balm, bee balm, not sure, can't remember. Plant things and then I don't label them properly, but they're looking pretty good. But they're looking bad at the same time, you know. So I have not been harvesting them because they've just been this kind of burnt. I don't know if they're getting too much sun, if they're not getting enough food, if they're not getting enough water. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with them, but they are definitely stressed out, and I have not been harvesting from them. Same with the catmint. I have not been harvesting from those either. Some of them are... Damn it, I think the cat is getting back in here. I don't know what to do about that. Okay, well, yeah. How do you keep cats out of catmint, you know? So... this is the regular mint. It is doing really well. I have actually come through and started harvesting a little bit of this just to keep it pruned back and also dry it out for mint tea. The calendula is opening up. I probably need to harvest that one and that one. The rest of them, oh, that one might be harvestable too. The rest of them have kind of gone to seed. I do need to probably save some of these seeds. I don't know if it's worth saving them or just letting them drop. So, yeah, I just don't know. And then we have like a random thyme plant that got mixed in with mint, and I think there was a random mint plant that got mixed in with the thyme. No, I think the thyme was okay. So basil is doing well. I hope it drops seeds and then just reseeds itself, because then I don't have to worry about doing that next year. And then this is the Thai basil, parsley, which I never use. I never use parsley. I literally only planted it because I had those seed pods and I wanted to use them up. So. And then, yeah, this is the marigold. It's doing well. The California poppy was fun to plant. It's pushing out more flowers. Unfortunately, I think we're going to be self-seeding the poppies down here because I didn't get to the pods in time. And, yeah. So, yeah, it's going to seed down here. I guess we'll see. And then, yeah, the sage is doing well. The rest of these flowers are doing well. The flowers, I have no idea what they are. I planted them and I don't remember. That's just wonderful. That feels like the story of my garden. Some of these we planted a wildflower mix and we just ended up with wildflowers of some sort. You know, the package says, oh, X percentage of this, that, and the other thing. So, yeah, but this is the garden. I really hope you found this video useful, and thank you so much for joining me today. I'll have some videos up at the end that you might enjoy, and I will see you next time on the Aerogarden Homestead.